who you got. All right.
Give me a list.
So
Give me what we got.
I got you. Brock Purdy or Jameis Winston,
Oh no, Brock Purdy.
and why?
Well, I mean, Jameis Winston is. We saw today he won that game. The Ravens dropped 3 interceptions on defense, and they dropped 3 easy interceptions on defense. I'm talking interceptions. There was one in the end zone where, I mean, it just hit him in the chest. I mean, it just hit him in the chest. Kyle Hamilton could have sealed the deal with an interception there at the end of the game. He dropped that as well, by the way. So, I mean, and they had another drop in the fourth quarter, another interception. Jameis Winston is liable for interceptions. That's why he lost the job in New Orleans and he lost his job in Tampa. So he is very liable to throw interceptions. So, and there's the history of that. Brock Purdy hasn't given me a history of throwing interceptions. He had a terrible game last week. No doubt about that. But he hasn't given me a history of throwing interceptions like that. So definitely Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy or Jordan Love?
Oh, man, Jordan Love.
Oh,
Man, Jordan Love. Are you kidding? And he went down today with an injury. But Jordan Love is a phenomenal young player. A phenomenal young player. He's so smart. And you know what? What I noticed and I love, this is what I like about Green Bay. You saw Rodgers sit for so long with Favre, and you never saw Favre play. I'm 1,000% sure because you weren't born probably. So, but when you watch Favre, all the mannerisms that Rodgers has, those are Favre, right? And you watch Jordan Love, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Like they sat behind and they learned, right? And so Jordan Love's remind me so much of that. His decision making is pretty good. I love Jordan Love. I love Jordan. I think you put Jordan Love on the Niners, and they don't lose a game. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I love Jordan Love. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback.
I'm taking Pookie Purdy on that one.
Oh.
Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray?
Oh no, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. Kyler Murray's a little too small, loose with the football. I love what he does with his feet, right, and his arm. He's got a hell of an arm. But I think Kyler Murray's gotten used to that, just running around, and because he's had a bad O-line for a while, and he doesn't, they haven't. Kyler Murray is too small to be like a Lamar type of guy where they can just get a good running back and just run the ball in that way. But Kyler Murray has a hell of an arm. His arm is better than Purdy, I'm sure. The problem is with the decision making. I think he's too loose with the football, and so. But I'll take Purdy, but not by much. Not by much.
All right. Brock Purdy or Derek Carr?
Oh no, Brock Purdy easy. I mean, Derek Carr's a joke. Let's be real. Derek Carr, yeah, one good year, and I felt bad for the guy. Right, I feel bad for the guy. Some of the Raider fans hate him. There's other ones that love him. I mean, the ones who love him, whatever. That's a dumb part of the fan base. The ones that love him. I mean, you talk to Eddie, I'm his co-host on Two Nobodies, and he'll let you know about Derek Carr. So he'll even take Brock Purdy over Derek Carr.
Yes.
So yes, for sure.
Brock Purdy or a healthy Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh no, Brock Purdy. That's easy.
Oh,
that's easy. That's easy. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you because when I see Tua has amazing weapons in the backfield, out on the sides. Right, he's got Jalen Waddle, and we've seen what Purdy can do with weapons. And don't tell me that the receiving core of the Dolphins isn't better than the receiving core of the Niners. I mean, if you don't think that Waddle and Tyreek Hill are better than Ayuk and Debo, and you throw Kittle in that shit, those two guys in Miami are better. I'd put Purdy with that. And we've seen what Purdy can do with weapons. And so I take Purdy over Tua.
All right. Brock Purdy or Justin Herbert?
Oh, man. Justin Herbert.
Oh,
Justin Herbert is for me, I think Justin Herbert is more of a traditional quarterback who can take the initiative to step up and run the ball. When he needs to. I mean, today he ran for a first down. He might have ran for like 30 yards. Justin Herbert's a better thrower. People always kind of have given him like a pass, kind of. They blew a 27-0 lead in Jacksonville, I think it was, in the playoffs. And that was, in my opinion, that was coach, right? That's my opinion. He did have receivers, but they were always hurt. And so Herbert, when you watch him, I think he's perfect in Harbaugh's system, but also wasted in Harbaugh's system. So it's like he fits it perfect because, Harbaugh had Andrew Luck at Stanford. And Herbert reminds me a little bit of that. Luck was more of a better runner than Herbert. But when you see them drop back and in the pocket, their coolness in the pocket, the presence in the pocket, the calm, cool, collective. I prefer Herbert. And now this is the thing: when you do this game, you just take Herbert and punch him into the San Francisco, right? I think Herbert is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Now, but like they're on their own teams, right? So they're literally like, I would take Herbert, but not Herbert on the Chargers. I'd take Herbert on the Niners, right? So, at the end of the day, like we know Brock Purdy last year was top 5 statistically. We had a roster that was top 3 in the league, obviously. So you need a roster as well. I'm not going to discredit Purdy that he didn't do shit. Still had to make the throws and win games. But Herbert, just as a natural quarterback, like, I think Herbert is better. That's my opinion.
All right. Brock Purdy or Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, no, Brock Purdy. Are you kidding? Trevor Lawrence, I've been on that hate train. I'm telling you, I would tell people and they didn't believe me. And finally, some people said, listen, you watch these guys in college, and these guys in college, oh, yeah, he's this good, and da-da-da-da. I watched him, I think it was last year college, opened the season week 1 against Miami. And Miami was a terrible team at that point. And so he drops back to pass, throws an interception, and he gets called back for holding by the defense or something, right? Very next play. Throws an interception, drops back, throws to the same side, throws an interception again, and the play gets blown dead. Oh, no, false start on the right. He had already dropped back. It was a quick drop back throw. And then 2 plays later, he actually throws an interception. So, and I knew right then, I'm like, dude, this guy's. And then he gets that win, the 27, it came back from 27 down or 24, whatever it was. And it's like, dude, you watch this guy on a week in, week out, and I don't know, he's not that good. I think Brock Purdy's a lot better.
I feel that. I like that. All right, Brock Purdy or Matthew Stafford?
Oh, man. It's a tough one, man.
I wrote this down, and I was like, damn, this is hard for me.
It's a tough one, but I'm going to say Matthew Stafford. I'm going to say Matthew Stafford. I mean, Matthew Stafford's thrown for 5,000 yards in this league with one receiver.
True. He's proven.
I mean, he literally, the Rams, he did what everybody knew in the league that he was when the Rams traded for him, plugged him in, won the Super Bowl. They knew it. Everyone knew it, that Stafford was that good. He was just in a shit situation at that point. And he was in a shit spot, and he came over to the Rams and he won the Super Bowl. And Stafford is proven that he can play, man. And it doesn't matter who's playing out there with him. The man can play.
I like it.
The man can still play.
I respect it. All right. Brock Purdy or Joe Burrow?
Oh, man.
Come on now.
It's easy to say Joe Burrow. It's easy to say.
It's really not.
Well, it is, because he's been to a Super Bowl and he's been to 2 of the last 4 AFC title games. However,
what has Brock Purdy done on the other side?
No. That's why. Let me finish, man. However, when we look at Burrow's last 3 years or 2 years, they've struggled, and he has arguably one of the 2 best receivers in the league. 2 or 3, 1, 2, 3, however you want to put it. I don't think anybody cares, right? But so you have 1, 2. So he has one of the best receivers in the league. Is it coach for Burrow? Is it decision making? I don't know. At this point, when we look at just last season and the beginning of this season, I'd have to take Purdy at this point. Right now, you gave me 2. I'm talking 2 years ago. I'm taking Burrow, obviously, but right now, what Purdy's done consistently the last 2 years, what Burrow hasn't been able to do, and has to win games. Like Burrow's sitting at 3-5 right now. They were at home this weekend, at home playing a Philly team that hasn't looked good even after the bye. So, but nobody will take Purdy over Burrow, but I will. This week, right now. Well, you will. You're a Niner fan. That's kind of
no. But on these, I have to be objective. Like Matthew Stafford over Brock Purdy, I agreed with you. I said Matthew Stafford has proven more. He's been in this league longer. If I'm putting him on the Niners right now, we're probably almost as dominant as the Chiefs are on the NFC side of the ball, on the NFC side of the NFL. So
right. If we're comparing resumes, like Stafford obviously been in the league so much longer.
Right.
But if we just go the last 4 or 5 years for Burrow, and we go the last couple for Purdy, which is what he's played, they've pretty much done the same thing.
Right.
NFC title game, which he got
Super
hurt,
Bowl.
and I thought
Yeah.
they would have won, and then a Super Bowl appearance, and
Mhm.
then now, but right now Purdy's struggling, and
Yeah.
but Burrow hadn't done any better, right? The last 2 years, Burrow hasn't given me anything. You know, you won a playoff game at the Bills a couple years back, and that was pretty much it. That's all she wrote.
all she wrote.
They haven't done shit since, and right now it's sitting at 3-5 in a division where you have the Steelers and the Ravens at 5-3, and I think 5-2, with the Steelers getting probably a gimme game at home tomorrow. They could be 6-2. The Ravens at 5-3. You're at 3-5. You think you're coming back in that division at 3-5? I think not. Joe Burrow. Let's go to the next one.
All right. Brock Purdy or Jared Goff?
Oh man, today,
Today.
I will take Jared Goff
Me as well.
1,000%.
Me as well.
1,000%. I think the Detroit Lions, and I thought before today, I thought the Ravens were the best team in the league. After today, I think Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions are the best team in the league right now. And I know the Chiefs are undefeated, and everybody knows how I feel about Mahomes. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's the best quarterback on the planet, walking, dead or alive. You heard me, Tom Brady. So, but Jared Goff right now, I think the Lions are the best team in the league, and it has a lot to do with Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, of course, Ben Johnson, all the receivers. Gibbs has been phenomenal. Montgomery. I mean, the list is endless. I'm not saying Brown. I mean, the list is endless, right? On the Lions.
Right.
But we're doing Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. I'd take Jared Goff over Brock Purdy.
I would as well. I second that motion. All right, final three. Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts?
Man, this is gonna be unpopular, man. Give me Jalen Hurts. Give me Jalen Hurts. I watched Jalen Hurts. Everybody know. People know. I went to bat against this 2 years ago when they went to the Super. When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, and they lost to the Chiefs. Of course, they lost to Mahomes. I said Jalen Hurts, but watching Jalen Hurts today, and I watched that game in its entirety. My daughter's boyfriend's here. He's an Eagles fan. So I got finagled into watching that shit. But man, listen, I'm going to tell you, Lamar is the most dynamic with his feet. Jalen Hurts is dynamic with his feet. Not close to Lamar, but he is a better thrower than Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. What he does with his feet, and granted, Jalen Hurts has fucking weapons. Okay, there's what AJ Brown. You had to see the play. The thing is, the throw he made today to Devontae, and the opportunity he gave to Devontae to make that catch. That was a hell of a throw and a hell of a play by Devontae Smith. And I know he has weapons, as Brock Purdy has weapons. But today, if I had to pick and choose, I'd take Jalen Hurts today over Brock Purdy. And everybody, I've always just distributed Jalen Hurts hate. Right. But man, he looks good. He's a lighter skinned Lamar without the speed, but with the better throwing arm. If you do it in Madden rankings, and I don't know what they are, but because I don't play that shit. But in my opinion, if Lamar's 99 speed, Jalen Hurts is 87, but the running ability is right there.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So
last two, Brock Purdy or Josh Allen?
Oh no, Josh Allen. Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen right now is arguably, he's playing the best with the fewest weapons. They added Amari Cooper. They have a rookie receiver in Coleman, I believe. They have, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. They don't have as many weapons. He doesn't have as many weapons as he had before. Well, he had Diggs before and he had Gabe Davis, but he's doing the most with the least of the quarterbacks. And he is playing the best of the quarterbacks. I think he should be the MVP at this point. He's doing the most at this point, but he's playing the best of the quarterbacks right now. So I definitely take Josh Allen over Brock Purdy any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
I agree with that. And this last one is the one that we have discussed before on the Two Nobodies podcast. Again,
better not be Patrick Mahomes.
No.
That man's on his own fucking island.
No. He could not be put on this list. I would not have accepted that slander.
Good.
Self-slander. But
good.
This is the one that we talked about. Again, for the people that are watching, hit the Two Nobodies podcast subscription in the description below. But this is one that I have an unpopular opinion about, and I think you share. You may not, but Brock Purdy or Lamar Jackson?
No, man. The thing is, Lamar is dynamic. Lamar is super dynamic. Lamar has his system, has to be his system. I don't think you can take Lamar and throw him in San Francisco because they'd have to change their entire system. as far Lamar is going to get out and run, and you see when he drops back to pass. And so I don't know if it'll work exactly the same. Lamar is a better quarterback. I'd rather have Lamar. If I'm the Niners, would I rather have Lamar? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But I'd rather have Lamar. Like if I had to pick and choose, I'd rather have Lamar Jackson. He's more dynamic. But I have to have Lamar Jackson with Derrick Henry. Like because Lamar's his elusiveness and his speed, he's dynamic as shit. And so, people say, well, what about Lamar and Christian McCaffrey? I don't think it would work the same. I don't think it would. I think Derrick Henry is just such a bruising back that when you're getting that bruiser, right, running into that line 2 or 3 times, 4 times in a series, and then you get Lamar's elusiveness, that's just, that leaves that defense shook. Lamar is in my opinion, better than Purdy. But so I'd take Lamar. But if I'm the Niners, man, I'm keeping Purdy.
I see this on TikTok. It's on our Two Nobodies TikTok. A lot of people are like, you guys are disrespecting Lamar. You guys are talking about the best quarterback, not mentioning Lamar. At the end of the day, when I need my quarterback in the most crucial moments to throw the football,
Lamar can't do it.
He cannot do it. And so at the end of the day, when you're talking about a quarterback IQ, being able to throw the football, taking it all in, like you're talking about the whole thing, I'm taking Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson because I think Brock Purdy up here is going to push me through than Lamar will with his feet because Brock Purdy is a better gunslinger at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Brock Purdy's, but like I said earlier, when we opened with Lamar, I think there's 22 guys, 23, 24 guys that are better throwers than Lamar. The problem is that Lamar brings the dynamic factor into it. And that's what fans or people out there, that's what they don't separate, right? Like Josh Allen can run the ball. He can run the ball with power, and he can throw it a mile.